Hello, and welcome back to Journey Back to Health After 60. My name is Kathy, and thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, please press the like button. Please subscribe if you like this type of content, and I would greatly appreciate it if you would share this video with your friends. Today, we are going to be making beef and mushroom and onion in a jar. And then we're going to can it in today, something special. This will be my first with the new parts. I'm going to use my pressure canner. That ought to be fun to watch. Maybe it'll give you a giggle or two, give you something to do. So let me go over what's in here. I have fresh onions. I used a very large onion and chopped it up fairly small. Mushrooms, I used 3 small cans of mushrooms, and I also saved the juice. I don't know if you can see the juice. This is full of chives, which was several tablespoons of chives. I grow my own, and I chop them up small and dry them, dehydrate them, so I can't tell you exactly how many are in here. I just poured them in there. And I used about 10 garlic cloves, which I smashed and chopped up. So onions, garlic, mushrooms, and chives are in there. Also sprinkled across the top, which I get at Costco's, if you can see that, the organic no salt seasoning. And today, since I'm using the canned mushrooms, I'm not going to add any extra salt. Also, because I'm out of my own, I am going to be using store-bought bone broth. So, unfortunately, I don't have any more of my homemade bone broth. It's another video we'll have to make because I do need to make some more. I don't know how far this amount of ground beef is going to go because I already used the other half of the ground beef. I bought a big thing of it for $3.99 at Costco's. The other half I used to make chili. So this is what I had left, and I wanted to make up some mushroom and ground beef because I love mushroom, ground beef, and onion. And, you know, with the cold winters here in Iowa, it'll be a warm welcome. So if you hear a little snorting going on, I'll apologize in advance. My dog just came into the kitchen, and the other one will probably follow. And I have 2 Frenchies, so they tend to snort quite a bit, so I apologize. I will try and put some music in the background that maybe you'll blurt it out. I'm not sure, but I know still need to hear me. So let's get rolling on putting this together. Again, this is onions, garlic, mushrooms, and chives. Yep, there you go. She's going to start making her noises. When this is, when all the jars are full, I'll go back and put the juice in. But I don't know how far this is going to go. So I'm kind of winging it. That's just how I cook, so I apologize if that bothers some people. And it might bother some people that I'm not a huge recipe follower. I'm more so a recipe maker. I guess I'm original. Ooh, it looks like we'll be making a second round. Awesome. Here we are in October, a few days away from Halloween, and it's starting to get pretty chilly here in Iowa. Where are you from? Put down in the comments below where you're from. It'd be exciting to see people from what other parts of the world would be watching a video like this. Here comes Teeny. She's my big time snorter, so I apologize for any snorting in the background. Such noisy little dogs they are. but I love them dearly. I don't know if you can see her in the video because I'm not looking at my camera, but she's down here to my left, and she is quite a noisy one. We hear you, Teeny. We do. She has had several surgeries on her sinuses and her throat, yet she still makes all that funky noise. Poor little thing. I want to get this juice in there because a lot of the seasoning, a lot of the seasoning is in there. Okay. Don't know if you can see Teeny. That's Teeny. All right. Let's put our gloves on and get this hamburger out of here. I'm going to start out with small amounts because I'm not really sure how much is going to fit in each jar. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit nervous about the pressure canner because I haven't used it since they sent me the new part. And I'm hoping, it looks a whole lot better. That first one was so bent up, and when I called Presto to find out, what's going on with this canner, the whole time I'm trying to use it, it's spitting water all over the place. My floor was getting soaking wet. Boiling water squirting all over the place. And that's not a good thing, especially when there's dogs walking around. And if you walk by the stove, that water would squirt on you. So when I called them and they're like, oh, something's not right, and they had me go through a water test, if you know what that is, a boil water test, because my particular one doesn't have a pressure gauge on it. It's a pressure gaugeless. So it's the vent that the water was squirting out of. And I had been over it several different times, read through the little booklet several times. Thank God I bleached the counter, huh? Anyway, the lady at Presto talked me through it, and we did the water boil thing, test, and she said, oh, something's got to be wrong with the gauge on it. And I'm like, well, it looks fine. And we were just talking. We actually were just talking, like friends talking kind of thing. And I took it apart and was looking at it, and I kind of was holding it up and looking at it, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. This thing looks bent. So in other words, it wasn't sitting flush up against the metal. It wasn't metal to seal, the white seal that's in it. And she's like, oh, that's supposed to be flush. That's not sealing properly because something's not right. So I took it apart again and looked at it. This thing is bent, where you screw the two together. It was not going flush. So in other words, it was sitting on the pressure canner sideways. Thus, the water was squirting up out of it instead of staying in the machine. So in other words, I wasn't getting up to pressure. So I couldn't use it. It's not up to pressure. It's not going to can your food correctly. Danger, danger. We don't want that. Food's got to be sealed correctly. So today, we get to try this again. I've already got my 3 quarts of water in there, and I'm going to put a splash of vinegar in there. They all look about even. Look at that. That worked out well, didn't it? Alrighty then. I don't think we'll go through 2 of these. I could be wrong, but hello, Teeny. I'm sure our friends hear you. Oh, the French bulldogs. They sure do make their noise, don't they? since we're doing raw meat, it's cold, cold, cold. I'm not going to fill this up with broth, FYI, because raw meat will make its own broth, which is part of the pleasure to raw packing, because it makes its own juice and really keeps the flavor of that meat. That's why I don't pre-cook it, because you cook out that fat, which cooks out a lot of that flavor. So we're going to be incorporating these flavors all together while it's pressure canning. The beef flavor, and the onions, and the garlic, and the chives, and those mushrooms. Yum. I'm going about, oops, that one's a little bit more than halfway. I might have to steal some of that liquid. I'm going about halfway. A good way I found when I've done these videos, watched other women on YouTube doing these videos. A good way to watch is to get all your things together. You know, come on back to the video a second time if a recipe looks good to you. And come on back a second time to watch it a second time. And pause as you're making it. Like maybe put it on your cell phone, on the countertop or iPad or Kindle, whatever it is that you have, and use it kind of as a visual recipe book. Make sure, you know, you can double check to make sure you have everything that you need. If not, you can stop it and go grab what you forgot. However, you can pause it as you're going along so that you know what that next step is. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Okay, so this is turning out to be a little bit more than halfway. All right, I will show you. This one here has the least. Now that meat is going to cook down. You see? Doesn't that look good? So there's a big debate going on out there about, do I vinegar my rim or do I not vinegar my rim? So I've done a little research into that, and I have decided, especially with the new seals that are out, I have decided moving forward that I am not going to vinegar my glass. I am just going to use clean water. I have a 0 water filter, so I'm going to use that. I might have to do it twice. I'm going to use that, and then I'm just going to put my lids on, or my seals and my lids, because apparently the vinegar crystallizes on the glass and can mess with these, causing them not to seal. And I'm going to be honest with you, the first few times that and I'm new to canning, by the way, the first few times that I did it, I did the vinegar because of all the videos that I watched, and they did the vinegar, which totally makes sense because it's clean, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, I did it, and I did have some issues with, you know, having 1 or 2 not sealed during the process. However, the last 3 times that I canned, I did not do the vinegar after looking into the vice versa, should I, shouldn't I? And I found that they all sealed. So today we'll do it, and let's see if they all seal. Excuse me, doggies. Alrighty, let's clean those rims off. Oh, Teeny, I'm sorry, guys. She's a snorter. I apologize. Sounds like my house has issues, doesn't it? Well, when I made my first video, I made a video boo-boo. I had music on in the background, which I'm so used to having music on in the background because I live alone. And it gets a little lonely when you live alone and it's quiet all the time, other than listening to the dog snorting. And my video got tagged for copyright issues, so no music in the background. We're just gonna be in silence, and I'm gonna understand that there's people out there watching. Please share my video so lots of people are watching. They need to learn how to do this so that they can preserve their food, especially at the cost of food these days, which is what triggered me to start doing it, the cost of food. I was like, I don't want to pay $6, $7 a pound for ground beef. $3.99, doable for good quality ground beef. That's why I bought this. So, moving right along. Now remember, cold jars, cold food, cold canner. I am going to put vinegar in the canner because I have hard water. I did already look at all these. Questioning that one? No. I did already look at all these before I set them up here. These are not Ball. These are Country Classic, and I've also seen some controversy about the Country Classic and not sealing. So remember, put on gently and then give a little twist. Finger tight. Put on gently, give a little twist. I have done them too tight in the past and they buckled. It's happened to me twice. Do they ever come out a little loose? Yes. Whoop. Boom. Boom. Just very gently with my fingers and then boom. Oh, I'm making weird noises. I'm sorry. So, very gently. Don't forget I'm 60, so not doing it hard. And then boom. Alrighty. Let's get these put in the canner. Oh, I'm excited. I hope this works out better this time. 3 quarts of water are in there. If you're like me and don't trust the strength of your hands, that's why I use 2 hands, because I don't trust the strength of my hands. I didn't buy a real expensive canner because I didn't know if I was going to like doing this. I didn't know what I was going to think about canned food or preserving food. But as of late, I'm addicted. All right, so look what a mess I made. Okay, you're dropping food. Are you yelling at me? She's yelling at me. Come on, dog. I mean, gosh, I made a boo-boo. It's all good. Okay, let's get this turned on. I'm going to put it medium high. I'm going to put the lid on. Line up the, oh, I forgot to put the vinegar in. Vinegar, a good splash, because I have hard water. I saw one woman say that she does it to the count of 3. That just seems a lot to me. And maybe because her canner's bigger. Okay. I did check how deep the water was. Line up the arrow. Close, follow the arrow. I hope it works. Let's bring this in a little bit closer. There we go. That better? Yeah, that's better. There we go. Hopefully, it's going to work. Cold food, cold water, cold canner, So this might take a little bit. I will pause the video and we will come back when everything starts going. Hi, I'm back. I thought you might want to see if you use a pressure canner and you're not water bathing. I thought you might want to see this process. And like I said, this is the first time I've used it since the part's the right one. So I'm kind of excited to see how this is going to go. If you're new to pressure canning, what we're looking for is the steady stream to come up here, and we're waiting for this to come up and stay up. We want it to seal. I forgot to mention during the recipe part of the video, but this is the seasoning that I put in there. Can you see that okay? I buy it at Costco's, Kirkland. It's the no salt seasoning, and again, the reason why I did not put sea salt in the jar, which I normally would, is because I ended up using boxed bone broth, unfortunately. And I ended up using canned mushrooms, and both of those already have sodium in them. So, putting away my seasoning. I'm sorry, that's a habit. I clean up as I go. Like everything is cleaned up now while waiting for this to boil. I think it's about ready. I can hear the water in there boiling. Yep, I can see the steam. I don't know if you can see the steam. I should have got a black piece of paper. Oh, I have an idea. Does this help? Oh yeah, I can hear it. All right, the water's starting to come up through here. Let's see if it pops up and stays up instead of water going all over. The dogs went outside, so they're not in here snorting. Let's see if it goes up and stays up, or if it spits water all over. It went up. It's not spitting water. This might work, guys. It might work. I'm excited. I see water coming up, though. Are you going to seal? Please seal. Just get me extra water sitting here. I don't want it spitting at me. I've had some serious burns in my life. I don't need any more. I once was cooking bacon. Yeah. When I picked up the pan, it spilled. I lost my grip on it and it spilled. And I literally burnt my entire hand here. Those burns were so deep, and then it got infected, went all up my arm. That was nasty. So I don't really like burns a whole lot. I once burnt my hand on a Pop-Tart. I still have the scars. I was a kid. Took it out of the toaster, fell over, and the jelly that was in the Pop-Tart fell on my fingers. And then my mother, God bless her, doing what people told her to do over the years, stuck my hand in butter, which only made it worse. All right, we're waiting for this to come up steady. So we're going to put on the weight, and then we're going to get that rocking motion going on. Still quite a bit of air in between. I'm going to wait that 10 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes. Echo, set a timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, starting now. By the way, it looks like the weather in your area has been changing lately. I can keep you up to date if you ask Alexa.
She's just going to keep talking and talking and talking. They do that, these technology things. She's constantly giving me suggestions I have no interest in. She also tries to sell me things, telling me that this is on sale on Amazon, so on and so forth. I just have to tell her shush. I don't know if you can see the steam coming up. I'm just so excited it's sealed. That's a first. First several times I used it, it didn't do that. And the first time, which I didn't know, and I added more water the next time, it almost ran dry. There was only a minute amount of water in the bottom, and the lady at Presto said, oh, you could have run that dry and it would have warped the bottom and it would have been no good. Now, quick little story to this Presto canner. Last year I said, oh, the prices are going up on food. I'm going to have to change my ways. So I was at Walmart and I bought this. So I only paid $59.99 for it last year. And it sat in my garage all year. I was scared to death to do it. Scared to death to use the thing. I spent the past year watching video after video after video, and well, finally I was like, I've got to try this. I spent the summer growing my own food for the first time. You got all this food coming in. As a matter of fact, look at these. Aren't these gorgeous? I just picked these out of my basement. My son helped me bring in some of my pepper plants. And I have them down in the basement under grow light. So I was able to save with like eight plants. I got to bring in a lot of my herbs too, and oregano and thyme and stuff that I'm growing in the grow bag. You gotta do it. You gotta get out there and grow some food, even if it's just one thing. Even if all you have is a porch, you know, or not a porch. Just get a grow light. Thought I would share that with you. So look at that steam. Can you see it? I mean, it's just shooting up. Awesome. And then we've got to get this on there, and it's got to do the hula dance. A slow hula dance. I was talking to the lady on Presto, and she's like, you know, put the rocker on, and you need to wait for it to rock slow. I said, yeah, kind of like a slow Hawaiian hula dance. Enjoying my happy blend. Good stuff. If you haven't seen that video, you gotta check it out. I had to tweak my coffee. I was drinking way too much and it was causing me to be jittery just like that. I had to cut it way, way back. So now it's like probably less than a fourth. And with my memory getting a little challenging, you know, you get older, your memory starts going. I add mushroom to that as well. Gotta eat those mushrooms. It is at that dot before medium. Okay. I will bring you back when we're all done. The timer went off, so I turned off the heat, and I'm going to let this come down to pressure naturally. You don't want to take this off till it comes down to pressure naturally, and then we'll take them out. Okay, it's done. Are we ready to get these out of the canner? I forgot to get out the... Okay. Ready? Now we're going to open this away from our face so that we don't burn our face. Beautiful. Sure does make it easier to get them out when you hold it right. Look at that bubbling. Gosh, that's so funny when I realized I was holding these wrong. I'm going to guess the one that buckled siphoned out because I see some fat in here. So we may not get 8 seals. Probably this one over here. Let's see, I'll hold it up. I'll sit it far over to the right so I remember. I don't know if you can see that top. You see the top buckled? I've had 2 other ones buckle, but they sealed. I even tried, holding them to see if they came loose. I tried kind of pushing it up, didn't. But I am going to keep an eye on them because they're in the basement. Ooh, pop. Oh, beautiful, just beautiful. I also read that some people are having a hard time with the Country Classic tops. So we'll see. That's pretty much all I bought because that's what I could afford. When you live on a very strict budget, you do the best you can. And the place here, Baumgar's, had them to where they actually were costing me for a whole case $5. And I think it was $5.64 or $5.86. I don't remember, but because you would send in for a rebate. That's a really good price. Even if I end up having to trash the tops, the rings and the seals, I still get the jars, a whole case for $5 whatever and change. Yeah, there's some fat in there. I'm gonna guess, this is my guess, I'm gonna guess this one that's buckled. At least I'm looking to see. Actually, this one is the lowest in liquid. Here, I'll hold it up for you to look. So I don't know. Let's see if that one seals. But I mean, hamburger fat is quite greasy, so I could see that keeping something from sealing. Well, there they are. Let's see if they'll all ping for us. That'd be nice if one would ping right now so you could hear it. But I don't want to bore you with sitting here listening to it. It'll be so interesting to see what happens with this one. I may be eating that for dinner. All sealed. Yay, they all sealed. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And I hope that you will come back and watch another video with me so we can learn some more together. If you don't mind, could you please go and press that like button if you liked the video? And please do me a favor and share this with your friends or on your social media. That would be such a blessing to me. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so. Thank you so very much for joining me today and doing this new test and journey on my pressure canner that I've never used.